Hey guys, Kylo here. You hear that? That's a water pump. We're in another drought. I'm doing paramotor school chores. As anybody that knows, they don't stay shiny and new for long. They end up in just turning into a greasy dirt pile of paramotor stuff. I'm still prototyping. I'm still prototyping designs, again, current day, but I'm right there. Like, I'm right there. I think I've solved the final mystery of the universe. The last time I broke the thing. It's still hidden out. It's still hidden out. But I've got some videos about the builds, and I'm gonna do, as soon as it cools off, let me tell you the current plan of action. It's supposed to be 99 damn degrees today, but the wind is coming in. So I've had students here, it's been 99 degrees and no wind for the last 4 days. It's been brutal, hot, still sweltering, humid conditions. We've not got a lot of work in. We knocked out a couple flights, couple tandem flights, and ended up wrecking the machine on the last one. Got a line in the prop. That's current day situation. All that's in the mail coming. That's an easy fix. But I know the design flaw now, and I'll be remedying that pronto as soon as this temperature breaks. But until then, I'm gonna go make a video. I've already decided it's too damn much footage and too much rigmarole to put into one video. It'd be 50 minutes. I like to keep the YouTube content somewhere around 10, 15, 20. But then you gotta, people don't have time to sit there for an hour watching one YouTube channel. Who does that? I can't even watch hardly any. Time it takes me to eat a bowl of Cheerios, I can knock out a YouTube video. So I like to keep them about that realm. So let me shut up now and let's go inside and do an edit, and I'll show you what you got. And after some crude drawings, I decided to start bending and welding, and this is my starting point. This is the bars. You can see I've been trimming them up. I started putting harnesses on there and rigging it out, and then you just gotta sit in it and realize, uh-oh, something's wrong here. Just talking about trike design for a moment. Papa always told me, if you build it right the first time, you won't have to go back and build it again a second time. I know I'm welding and cutting, and that seems like I might have made a mistake, but really it wasn't. There's an art to being able to just manually sit into one of these things and figure out where the changes need to go. Initially, my thought was, boy, you know, I got my measurements close, but how in the world do I fine tune it until I know where I'm gonna run into problems? And you try to think out ahead all the problems. And computer aided design is great and dandy, but you know, there's things you can't do with a CAD drawing or a blueprint drawing even. And you can't sit in it. You can't figure out, oh, my head hits this, or there's a strap in my chin, or, you know, whatever it may be. So you draw as much as you can. And at least the Kylo flavor of design and prototyping is you build something to start with. And then you look at that closely and determine, does it need to be changed? Are the changes necessary? And it's easy to fine tune from there. I mean, it's a little extra work. Have you ever made a bad decision in your life? Well, let me show you one way that you can erase those. Clearly, it's not as easy as typing or drawing, but you get some real world feedback. I had my son come and sit in the harnesses with, it's raining on me, I'm sorry. Had my son come and sit in the harnesses with me and realize that, oh, if I'm too high behind you, then my legs hit your arms. I need to be a little bit lower, just a few inches, to clear out the passenger's elbows. Things like that you don't really see in a computer design, I wouldn't think. It showed up plain as day here, and I was close. It looks like overall my calculations missed by about 5 inches, and that's not bad. 5 inches and a 24-degree bend. And I believe we're gonna be onto something here. We're gonna be real close to it. There's one surefire way to remove bad engineering. You got to grind that shit off and start in a new place. For example, here. Hey guys, I'm back. Same place, new costume. I'm going out here and doing some work on the tandem trike. It's been a day or so. Whenever it's raining, it doesn't allow me the opportunity to stand here. Is that better? Doesn't allow me the opportunity to stand here and grind on this thing because I need ventilation and I don't need to burn down anything in the shop. I quit building it the other day because it was raining, and I went and made a video instead. But I'm back to it today. It's hot and nasty. This morning was spent in spectacular fashion at the mall pharmacy. Yeah, we had a flood. It was the next door. Something busted next door, and it filled up the back. So I've been dealing with that. So now I'm behind, but what I gotta do, I gotta cut these pipes and raise them up. After I basically re-geometried the whole thing and got it just how I liked it, zipped up, it was time to hit it with the grinder again. Of course, So I welded all the seams, ground off all the nasty spots, and slicked it out pretty good. Now again, this scratch built paramotor design. This is what I would refer to as the skeleton. Next came motor mounting. So the motor came with this little metal cage built around it. And so I just took the cage, put it right where I wanted it, welded the connections, then cut the excess cage off. And the motor mount, some of the metal that came in shipping served as part of the motor mounting plates on my design. And then I put the engine and the prop on it so I could calculate hoop clearance, geometry, landing gear. All that stuff came from this. And this is where the little parts started. And I'm just going to let this play out. I don't really know what else to say about this stuff. This is what I was doing. The next thing we got to do is make sure everything's squared, leveled, and then we're going to jig up our landing gear. It may not be the first time I ever did something kind of like this. I've done many builds since I was a child that involved measurement and angles and things. I like geometry. It's just kind of 3D geometry of what it is. But there's other things that go into it as well, you know. Metal flexure, load bearing stuff. If you put the things just in the places that you need them, you can do away with a lot of the excess. And I may come up with a version 2 where I even fine tune this design. I've got to test this one first. I'll know what's up probably on the first flight. But I got in my mind how I was gonna build it the whole time, and I've drawn a few pictures. I'll probably show you the pictures, a lot of pictures. There are you guys out there that watch, you know. I can see it in my mind's eye. Let me get to that. Now this is a feature that I've not seen in other trike designs. It's something I came up with myself, and I can tell you it's a success so far. I've been calling it the stinger. Now this will make a lot more sense once we get into the actual cabling. And the cabling actually requires a lot of small parts. So this is me making the small parts. Enjoy. After all the little parts was made, it was time to break out the ruler, the sidewalk chalk, the square, and get everything calculated just how I liked it. Once the calculations were done, the little parts got welded on in the right spots, and then we cleaned up the inside on the lathe. How about them apples? Once I had the gear pretty much made, it was on to the hoop and the hoop structure, the line hangers. Again, all this was kind of in my mind. I needed the base there before I could put on the other parts. And it's all coming together. And so after we get all the spots taken care of, it's time to roll the hoop. Yeah, I know, you're supposed to put this thing on a base. I just do it on the floor. I don't roll enough of them to actually warrant putting pegs down in the ground and mounting this thing up, although that could change very soon because I hate getting up and down off the ground. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. But a time lapse of rolling a hoop is pretty cool, so we'll watch that. You know, not that I ever hope it happens, but you hear the saying, you know, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. And so I want to see how the thing rolls over. So I do some, you know, pseudo crash test in the shop, some rollover, just to see the geometry of where things lay. After all that rigmarole, it was axles, which were just 3-inch 5/8 bolts that I welded into the hub. You know, there's something to be said for keeping all these small little metal pieces, little stuff that you cut off of an axle, for example, that was at a funny angle. If you'll save these pieces, oftentimes you'll feel bad if you throw it away, because in about a couple weeks or a couple days or a couple minutes, you'll need this little piece because it's shaped exactly like what we need it to be shaped like to go into here and sort of fill this gap. I'll cut on it and grind it and shape it up a little better, and I'll do some fancy schmancy geometry on it and get it to fit in this crack right there, and this one kind of go just as a filler, and then you'll connect everything with welds. You know, you got to do some intricate welding, and that's okay. I've practiced intricate welding before. I can't do that with gloves, so welcome aboard. I'll get to it without the gloves, and I'll get it right, and I'll show y'all what's up. But that's just PSA. Don't throw away your little trash. Organize the trash, hoard it in an appropriate manner, but don't throw every little piece away, because you're gonna need a little piece. At some point in your fabrication, you're gonna need a little piece, and that'll be perfect. The little trash bucket, coffee can. I don't even think you get coffee in a tub anymore. Used to be metal cans. There was loads of them. Yeah, good stuff hanging on the wall, stuff sitting in them. Coffee cans, thing of the past, maybe. All right, back to work. Whenever I finally do get to my artistry, my carvings, so to speak, it reminds me a lot of the feeling that I used to get back when I played video games. Hank Hill calls them. But some of them quest games where I had like a mission and I was trying to find the best way to conquer the mission and be agile and accurate, go on the quest, beat the big bosses or whatever the challenge was in the game. Well, that's kind of how I feel with the aircraft design. I feel like I'm just playing this game with it, looking at what's what and making it count. I'm excited. Weather. We got rained out today, but I get frothy at the mouth over it. It takes over my thoughts, my dreams, my plans, purchase history. You know, some things you order tires and wheels, tubes, shit like that. I ain't trying to make that stuff, even if I know how. But making little parts, you know, ordering things that are gonna match up. Specs are important. If you know your specs, you know, you can make some cool stuff. But I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm excited to see. I think it's gonna do just fine. All right then, see you on the shop. Starting to finally look like a paramotor. A little bit. It needs some cables on it and a motor and some weight and some big wheels. And it was finally time to get to the front forks. That's what this is gonna be. All right, I'm jigged up, ready to go. Well, it's finally got wheels. It's officially a trike now of some sorts. Those aren't the wheels that I'm gonna leave on the machine, but I had them here. I wanted to put them on to see what it looked like. I got to put in the steering, but I need to put the harnesses on and make sure I get that in the right spot. So we got to redress the thing now and then start over again. I got spring control on the steering here so that when you turn, it wants to go back straight. Well, I didn't mean to take a video. I was trying to take a picture, but the line guides need to be really smooth. Oh yeah, look, we got barn cat now. And then there's one that lives in the trees. It's scared of everything. Call it titty. It loves the hand. It loves the hand. And it'll trip you in the dark too. It'll get right under your feet. But when I'm walking out here in the dark, barefooted at night, I'm feeling for snakes at every step. And another night, I kicked that damn black cat in the black night in the grass barefooted, and I about died of a heart attack. And that thing started, for that second that my brain was going, we're gonna bust this up into a couple of parts. Next part, we're gonna build the front forks, put the wheels on, get all that sorted. Initial test flights, initial tandem test flights, and problems that arise. I've got another separate video about the engine and things that went on with the engine. So I'm going to bust this up into a few different videos Thank you for watching if you've come this far. And don't forget to like and subscribe. No, they say it's good. Till then, I'm here with you. I'll be bringing you content as I get to it. Much love, everybody. Kyle out.